As instructional designers and educators, we do more than deliver lessons. We design environments where all students have a chance to succeed. In classrooms filled with students from vastly different backgrounds, the choices we make about technology shape not just what students learn, but who gets to learn. When access to resources varies widely, equitable design becomes both a challenge and a responsibility. I'm Leslie Langdon. Welcome to Designing for Equity, EdTech in Socioeconomically Diverse Classrooms. In this session, I'll explore how we can use educational technology to create meaningful, inclusive learning experiences for all students, especially when their access to tools and support is anything but equal. How can we create equitable learning experiences when some students have access to the latest tech and others don't even have a ride to the library? I think back to the mid-1990s when my younger siblings were in middle school. If someone brought up what we now call the digital divide, the answer always was, well, they can use a computer at the library. We had a home computer, not because we were wealthy, but because my dad worked from home sometimes, and because he loved any new tech. We also had a library within walking distance, but not everybody does. I still hear that mindset today. It's just reworded. People say, all kids get Chromebooks, or if they really wanted to learn, they'd find a way. But these assumptions miss the reality of many students' lives. According to a 2023 Pew Research study, 97% of U.S. adults in households earning less than $30,000 own a smartphone, but only 65% have broadband internet access at home. For many families, a phone is their only connection to the internet. That makes mobile-first design not just a convenience, but a necessity. And what if you can't get to the library because you're caring for siblings after school? What if home is loud or chaotic or without reliable internet or even electricity? What if you only have internet access through a limited data plan? The internet may have made the world smaller, but many of us still live in our own little bubble, assuming others live like we do, especially in middle-class communities. We know that others have more, but we don't always realize how many students are doing the best they can with much less. Socioeconomic diversity isn't just about income, it's about access to time, tools, support, and opportunity. In mixed income classrooms, those differences shape how students engage with every piece of technology we introduce. The Cambridge Dictionary defines socioeconomic as a word used to describe the differences between groups of people relating to their social class and financial situation. Today, we will be exploring how the use of educational technology can act as a bridge, but also as a barrier for students with diverse socioeconomic status. Educational technology has the potential to act as a great equalizer, especially when it comes to access to content. For students who may not have had private tutors or someone at home who can help or even a quiet space to work, the right tools can provide academic support that would otherwise be out of reach. Through platforms like Khan Academy, Codecademy, CS First, CK12, OpenStax, students can access high-quality learning materials for free. These resources aren't watered down. They're rigorous and thoughtfully designed. They give students exposure to the same kinds of materials that more well-resourced schools have. Adaptive programs like Dreambox or Freckle can help fill gaps in understanding by tailoring practice to individual student needs. That kind of personalization can make a real difference for students who may not get as much one-on-one support outside of class. According to Chaprathi, consistent access to educational technology significantly improves student performance in low-income populations, often by helping them keep pace with peers from higher income households. We also know from Tizza et al. That when tech is implemented in an engaging, hands-on way, students from lower income backgrounds not only improve their attitudes toward learning, but they can even outperform some of their more advantaged peers on certain tasks. When used with purpose, educational technology can provide students with fewer resources access to learning experience they may not otherwise have. While educational technology has great potential, it can also deepen divides when access is unequal. Let's start with the technological barriers. These are the most visible. Many students still don't have reliable internet or a device at home. Even when a student does have a device, it may be shared among several family members or be too outdated to run required software. Digital literacy can also vary, especially among parents or caregivers who may not be able to help navigate online tools. But there are also non technological barriers that are just as real and often harder to see. Students in low income households may not have a safe, quiet space to study. Some may be responsible for caring for siblings while a parent works the evening shift. Others don't have reliable transportation to tutoring or the library or after school programs. Chirpathy found that nearly 70% of low income students felt disengaged during remote learning, not due to disinterest, but because of lack of structure and support at home. Imagine two students in the same eighth grade class. They're assigned a research project that requires internet access, typing, and slide design. Alex completes it at home on their own laptop with high speed internet access. They receive input from a parent who reviews their slides. Joe walks their younger sibling home, makes dinner, helps put their sibling to bed, and then tries to complete the project on a cracked phone with a limited data plan. These students are in the same classroom and they're given the same assignment, but the effort required to complete the same task is not remotely the same. If we don't account for these differences in our design and our expectations, we unintentionally widen the gap we are trying to close. Equity in education doesn't mean giving every student the exact same thing. It means giving each student what they need to succeed. When we design with equity in mind, we're not slowing anyone down. We're removing unnecessary barriers so that more students can rise to their potential. One effective framework for this kind of thinking is Universal Design for Learning, or UDL. It encourages us to provide multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression so all learners can access content and connect with it meaningfully and show what they've learned in different ways. That means offering materials that work on phones, not just laptops. It means designing tools that function on limited bandwidth or are available offline. In-class time becomes especially important when home access is uncertain. If we want to assign tech-based work, we also need to build in time and support during the school day to complete it. We can also offer optional challenge paths, projects, or extensions that give well-resourced students room to grow without penalizing those who can't go beyond the basics. Tizza et al. Found that low-income students showed stronger learning outcomes when they enjoyed the experience. And as Garcia Vanderwall et al. Point out, meaningful tech integration starts with trained teachers who understand both the tools and the context, who see devices not just as add-ons, but as tools for empowerment. So how do we create equitable learning experiences when some students have access to the latest tech and others don't even have a ride to the library? We start by recognizing that equity isn't about limiting opportunity for some, it's about expanding it for all. When we design educational technology that's mobile friendly, inclusive, and supported by classroom time and flexibility, we're not lowering the ceiling, we're raising the floor. And when we do that, we create learning environments where every student has a chance to succeed, no matter their socioeconomic status. I encourage you to explore the sources listed here to learn more about the impact of educational technology on students from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. Thank you for joining me for Designing for Equity, EdTech in Socioeconomic Diverse Classrooms.